From Kansas City's breaking news leader, this is complete coverage. This is NBC Action News at 10.
Well, tonight, a troubled teenager owes his life to Shawnee police.
He jumped off an overpass, but officers were in the right place at the right time. Larry Seward has more in this story.
Jeff, the police report calls it an attempted suicide, but the details described there, they describe a heroic rescue.
20 feet above Shawnee Mission Parkway on Lynn Road overpass, a 20-year police veteran known as Ski for his cat-like quickness on ball fields made the save of his life.
Like all the officers here and policemen everywhere, we're sworn to protect life, and that's our #1 priority, and certainly John is a great example of that today.
The man wearing neon yellow is Officer John Nahrebeski. This picture shows him clinging to a distraught 17-year-old boy who, when approached by police this morning, ran and tried jumping off this overpass.
John was able to catch this young man by the pant leg as he went over the bridge railing and eventually grab onto his coat and keep him from hitting the pavement below.
Seconds later, dashcam pictures show 2 other officers helping Nahrebeski hold on. Below them, police stopped traffic, then noticed this 14-foot Deffenbaugh garbage truck nearby. They asked the driver to park beneath the teen so rescuers could lower him to safety.
Pretty resourceful thinking by the officers, and it was great that we could maneuver that truck around and, you know, be involved in something that nobody ends up getting too hurt.
Police thank Deffenbaugh's driver and the officer they call Ski.
If you knew that you were racing someone for a bridge abutment or a bridge railing to stop someone from going over, John would be at the very top of the list because of his strength, his quickness, and his speed.
Well, Officer Nahrebeski skinned his knees during this rescue, but is expected to be okay. As for that teenager who jumped, police took him to an area hospital for evaluation. Larry Seward, NBC Action News.
Oh.
Ready? 2. Left. Face. 1. Up. Thank you. Please be seated. And dedication are an outward reflection of the inner core of our employees. At this time, I'd like to introduce Major Larry Moore, who's going to present the honors to our promoted employees.
Thank you, Chief. How's everybody tonight? No, it wouldn't be a PD function if not everybody sat in the back. Tonight it's my honor to present our lone promoted employee from 2009. This presentation involves a police officer who's been advanced to the rank of sergeant. In most cases, newly promoted sergeants are assigned to patrol division and serve as road patrol shift supervisors. Most of us have been on the road, or most of us have been road patrol sergeants before, believe that that's one of the best jobs in the police department. And we also know that how important that job is because of the leadership they give to our officers. It's easy to equate good road patrol sergeant means good service delivered by our first line officers to the customers, and be it good or bad. And all I have something to say. Did somebody put crazy in the water here this last week? I mean, things have just gone nuts. Homicide, microburst, helped one exit out with a fatality with a dune buggy, fights, and would somebody give Nate Carlin a 5 in self-initiated activity, put him in the station, we can't afford to fleet. Or anybody knows. Anyway, the road patrol sergeant, like all sergeants, has to be able to take control of the situation when needed, or more importantly, when not, and to let his people do their work. They have to be able to gain support of city and department goals and administrative decisions, even with the times they don't agree with them. They have to be able and willing to be attentive to detail. They must serve their subordinates and the command staff equally. And I'm sure they'll probably tell you that's like being between a rock and a hard place a lot of times. And they also have to set an example by being tactically and technically proficient as a police officer. As you can tell, this is an awesome responsibility. We've got a great history here at the Shawnee Police Department of having excellent first line officers on to serve as great leaders here. At this time, I wish to recognize and promote Employee of the Year, Sergeant Ben Mendoza. Please come forward. Now all the suspense is gone from the slide. Sergeant Mendoza began his law enforcement career with the City of Shawnee in 1997 as a road patrol officer. During the course of his career, Sergeant Mendoza served as a field training officer, SWAT team member, property crimes detective. Sergeant Mendoza was promoted to his current rank on December 28, 2009. Congratulations, man.
On October 8, 2009, Shawnee officers were dispatched to the Lynn Road Bridge to check on the welfare of the subject on the bridge. Officer Nahrebeski and Keegan arrived first on the scene. Officer Nahrebeski advised that the subject on the bridge over Shawnee Mission Parkway. He requested additional units to shut down the parkway in case the individual attempted to jump over the side of the bridge. Officer Nahrebeski and Officer Stotts were on the opposite side of the bridge. Officer Nahrebeski attempted to talk to the subject and determine what his intentions were. The subject was walking about on the top of the bridge and kept moving towards the side of the bridge. Officer Nahrebeski attempted to get the subject away from the edge of the bridge. The subject then all suddenly started to run towards the edge of the bridge. Officer Nahrebeski was able to grab a hold of the subject's clothing just as he jumped over the bridge, and he slowed his descent over the bridge. John then grabbed a hold of the subject's coat and was holding on to him. It was raining at the time, and the subject was very wet and soaked. Officer Stotts and Nahrebeski and Sergeant Larson, who had arrived on the scene, helped to hold on to the subject from the bridge. Shortly after that, Officer Nahrebeski saw a Deffenbaugh trash truck attempting to get on Shawnee Mission Parkway from I-435. He yelled for someone to get the trash truck to meet the subject. Officer Matt Hassigan, who was off duty at the time, happened to be driving by the incident and stopped to assist. He got the truck driver and had him pull the truck under the subject hanging from the bridge. Officer Lorden then arrived and helped hold on to the subject also, and they were able to lower the subject down on top of the trash truck where they could eventually get him down to safety. The young man was transported to KU Medical Hospital for evaluation. Officer Nahrebeski was able to think quickly and assess what the subject on the bridge was contemplating. This was a great job by all officers on this call and exemplary teamwork. Are your families here tonight? Would you all please stand? Actions on that bridge that cold wet day, Officer Nahrebeski will be presenting over Member Hagee is to give you the certificate of commendation. I mentioned earlier that a Deffenbaugh trash truck just happened to be in there. We've had some fantastic acts of heroism and everyday work by from volunteers and civilians to police officers. And I really appreciate all that you guys do. Now I'd like to introduce Captain Rob Moser, who's going to hand out the Patrol Officer Leader Award.
Can I get Master Patrol Officer John Nahrebeski to come back up? Each month, members of the Patrol Division Supervisory Staff select one officer as Patrol Officer of the Month based on outstanding performance. At the end of each year, the supervisors vote on a Patrol Officer of the Year from the monthly selections. The annual selection can be based on a compilation of several heroic, generous, and professional acts by the officers throughout the year, or on one single act of exemplary performance. I hope you would agree that Officer John Nahrebeski's actions during the previously described Lynn Road Bridge incident rises to such a level of performance. For that reason, we are honored to recognize Officer John Nahrebeski as the 2009 Patrol Officer of the Year.
Where's Allie? You get one, Larry? I got it. I got it.
Was seriously threatening suicide by jumping from the overpass into the traffic below on Shawnee Mission Parkway. The officer quickly asked for Shawnee Mission Parkway to be shut down, and negotiations with the young man by Nahrebeski and others were unsuccessful. The youngster suddenly started moving toward the edge of the bridge. Just as quickly, Officer Nahrebeski dove for the subject and grabbed his wet and slippery coat. He continued to hold on to the young man as others rushed to assist. And eventually, the young man was lowered to the top of a trash truck that had been positioned below to stop traffic on the instruction of Officer Nahrebeski. For his quick, life-saving actions, John Nahrebeski is awarded the Silver Award. For the Gold Award, Lieutenant Herman Holder.
Where's the hat? Where's the hat? Finishes tonight. There you go.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to make you dance that way a little bit because there's a pile of crap there.
Everybody see me? We should just take it.
It's easier to have you all do Alright, let's do it.
It's the bellies. Come on, she was our table server. Get in here.